Concord is having a complete meltdown and finally getting taken down after a tremendous failure of a launch on PlayStation and Steam. This is absolutely crazy. They're done. They know it. And we're going to get into this news that's just breaking in just a moment. My name is John Delarose, everybody. Please hit the like and subscribe button as we cover the most important topics in gaming news here. And Concord has been a big one lately. My gosh, I can't believe this is actually happening. I mean, they're really, really panicked over there. But I am also a content creator, and I make my own graphic novels. I actually just hit my most successful graphic novel of all time. Thank you guys so much. It's unbelievable how far this has gone. Over the weekend, we did hit that number, and it is now, it's a big, big winner. Quite the opposite of Concord here. If you like good science fiction, this is a lot of fun. We're trying to make something in the vein of old Star Wars, old Warhammer 40K, the kind of stuff before these companies went woke, and have a great graphic novel for you. It's in the description below. If you want to support the channel, it's a great way to, and I appreciate everybody who backs. Also, if you just like good comic books, this is a good spot for you as well. Thank you again. All right, so this update just came from PlayStation Blog, an update on Concord from game director Ryan Ellis at Firewalk Studios. He says, Concord fans, we've been listening closely to your feedback since the launch of Concord on PlayStation 5 and PC. We want to thank everyone who's joined the journey aboard the North Star, all like 50 of you. Your support and passionate community that has grown around the game has meant the world to us. However, while many of the qualities of the experience resonated with players, all 100 of you, we also recognize that other aspects of the game and our initial launch did not land the way we intended. Therefore, at this time, we decided to take the game offline beginning September 6th and explore options, including those that will better reach our players. Well, this is actually interesting, and it does. I'm going to give him kudos. I know I'm not supposed to even be nice to these people because after they gaslit everybody, after they went very, very, very hard into the identity politics. But this is actually a good move. Taking it offline, looking to redevelop the game, seeking to do something else with it because it is such an abject failure is actually the correct move. They should do this. I kind of think it can't be rehabilitated as a brand at this point, so I would just abandon it. At the very least, they have to rename it when they do this. But the identity politics was so steep in this, it really was a get woke, go broke situation. And if they did just keep this online, keep support going for this, they'd be suffering even greater losses as things going along. He continues, while we determine the best path ahead, Concord sales will cease immediately and will begin to offer a full refund for all gamers who have purchased the game for PS5 or PC. Wow, this is a big move. And it is actually a consumer-friendly move because this was $39.99. Other games in the genre are mostly free to play. There was no single player mode. It was kind of a ripoff for fans, even without all the crazy stuff that was involved with it. This is absolutely true. If you purchased a game for PlayStation 5 from the PlayStation Store or PlayStation Direct, a refund will be issued to your original payment method. Customers who purchase from other digital storefronts will also be refunded. More information about refunds from Steam and Epic can be found below. Wow. So they are going to give all the money back for players who got into this game, couldn't find other players online. It's honestly doing the right thing. It's very rare to see this these days, but I think what's happened this year is these companies have started to see that gamers really have a lot of power, and they've also seen that when you do gamers wrong, when you sit there and like Ubisoft just did, this is a great example with Star Wars Outlaws, and everybody bought their $130 gold edition to do the early access to the game, and then they were forced to actually erase their plays in order to continue on the game because it was so buggy. They did a patch, and Ubisoft was not able to keep their games going, didn't offer any kind of refund, gave them some in-game trinket to try to make up for it, that it just pissed gamers off. So this way, they're actually building a little bit of goodwill with gamers. And this is the second time I've seen Sony make this move this year. If you remember the Helldivers 2 situation, Helldivers 2 was having a lot of problems because they were requiring PSN logins for Steam players, or you were not going to be able to play the game. And people didn't like that because they bought the game without that as a premise. And so it was an anti-consumer friendly sort of thing. PlayStation then removed that requirement for Helldivers 2. And they seem to be backing down at this point because I really think Sony understands they're in a very precarious situation. They've made a lot of screw-ups over the last year or two. So has a lot of the video game industry, and they want to change things up again and at least tell the consumers they don't hate them. Very refreshing, actually, to see. So the Steam Store refund players who bought the game in the coming days, Steam will send confirmation of refund once it's been processed. Epic Game Store will refund players who bought the game in the coming days. Wow. Other retailer refunds for customers who purchase a physical copy at a retailer location outside of PlayStation. Please refer to the refund processes of the retailer who purchased this. Once refunded, players will no longer have access to the game. We'll keep you updated, and thank you again for the free gunners who joined us on the Concord Galaxy. Holy crap. This is the biggest admission of failure I've probably ever seen in the big video game industry. This cost $200 million to make. We saw that it was barely getting $1 million in sales as it was. So it was a complete disaster, $199 million down the drain. The only thing they can do at this point is a complete rebrand. Just take this game, completely can it, maybe keep the mechanics, keep the things that are going on there. I hear they're fine. Try to develop maybe a single-player game out of it and do something with that. And then, of course, get rid of all the identity politics, because this story broke this morning just before this was hitting, that they turned transgender singer into free gunner Baz. This was a confirmation that they were making trans characters a big part of the game. Now, we saw with all the player options and all that, with all the pronouns that they had in the beta test, everybody was mocking the game because of that. Nobody wants this kind of crap inserted into the game. As they're taking things down to, quote, redevelop things, they should take this lesson that this is the reason why people are rebelling against it. People are sick of this. When it was tagged on Steam as political and LGBTQ+, gamers don't want to deal with that kind of thing in their games. The more you force the DEI, the more you force the woke agenda, the more people are going to rebel and mock the game and not play it. And of course, the designs look stupid and bad because, I mean, transgender kind of things look kind of weird, guys. It's just kind of how it is. They want to pretend otherwise with a lot of filters and things like that, but that's exactly what happens. So this person confirmed Firewalk Studios turned him into free gunner Baz in Concord. How based is that, Park Place, by making sure to recognize that this is a dude. I appreciate that, John Trent. According to the Pink News, he wrote on Instagram, "I had to go for a walk because I just don't like it when PlayStation wants to turn me into the baddest knife-wielding assassin in all the land." That's right, yours truly as free gunner Baz in PlayStation's new multiplayer video game Concord. This is another situation. I mean, we saw it with the Dylan Mulvaney thing with Bud Light. We saw that it was rejected in this kind of thing. And people knew that this was kind of a Troon character the entire time. They really did. And of course, we had all the large fat black ladies, the lesbians, and the they-thems going through this entire thing. But we didn't know this was a directly sourced information from an influencer out there, much like the Dylan Mulvaney situation. The fact that they keep doing this, the fact that they keep trying to push this kind of thing so hard, and to keep trying to push these influencers' influences, just goes to show that they're focused way too much on this stuff and not enough on quality game design. It's very obvious when you have a quality game design that looks good, is pretty, has a lot of fun, you get the results like Black Myth Wukong, you get the results like Stellar Blade. The gamers love it. Even if all the IGNs and Kotakus of the world hate on the game, call it shallow, whatever it is, you know that the game is just fun, and this is an entertainment-based industry at the end of the day, and so you have to provide that kind of entertainment. They've refused to do so far, and it's resulted in one of the biggest failures in video game history, as we know. In the game, the player has listed as she, her pronouns, but given the original posts, it's clear that they made the character transgender, just as we were speculating the entire time. Look at those big, broad shoulders, my friends. They forgot to give him an Adam's apple for some reason, though. Oh, these games always do this kind of thing. But this is pretty wild. I can't believe this update's happening. Can't believe they're truly shutting it down. This is an abject failure on a level that nobody anticipated. We're seeing huge problems from all of these companies that invested into DEI. Of course, there's this. We had the Sweet Baby Inc. news yesterday with Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and massive layoffs coming to Rocksteady Studios. If you didn't watch that video, go watch that next. And also, don't forget that Ubisoft has had a big failure in their Star Wars Outlaws, and Assassin's Creed is coming. We know what's going to happen right there, too. Get woke, go broke every single time. All right, so I think this is good. I'm glad that they're refunding gamers. It is the right thing to do. And, I'll say what the right thing to do is the right thing to do. Hopefully they do redevelop this game without the identity politics, but I'm not going to hold my breath for that anytime soon. This is the end of Concord. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to hit the backer button here, back this project for the Hidden Emperor. And I appreciate you guys for being there. We'll see you soon.